Okay, very good. All right, yesterday we started talking about compensation plans and programs. Compensation plans or programs, okay? And the one thing that I talked about or was still feel very strongly about is this. Where do they come up with this idea of how they calculate and they pay out commission to salespeople, right? And remember, what I said yesterday was, as long as it's a fair program, all right? It's a fair program. And you can figure out, where did they get that number from? I can live with that. It's when it's not a fair program where you say, where is this number coming from? Where is this number coming from? And again, from the first day I talk a lot about the mental side, or the psychology of selling. The psychology of selling, thank you, okay? The psychology of selling. And one thing that will weigh on you, right, every day of your life as a salesperson is this idea of, am I going to make my quota? Can I make my quota? Right? And how did they establish that quota? Where did they get that number from? That's all any great salesperson wants to know is, where'd you get the number from? Where'd you get the number from? So, as you saw in the book we started yesterday talking about, there's a couple of theories behind selling that address that. One of them is agency theory. The idea that is it in your best interest to sell the product that the company wants you to sell, or is it in your best interest to maximize the commission plan and the opportunity to maximize what your commission is. So, I want to explain a few things here about compensation programs or plans. All right, you have almost three things here. You have straight salary, right, and then you have straight commission on the other end of the spectrum. Okay, straight salary versus straight commission. Right? Now, as you look at this, there are extreme ends on this. So typically what an advantage of straight salary is a disadvantage of straight commission. And what is a disadvantage of straight commission, or an advantage of straight commission is a disadvantage of straight salary. And what you have in the middle, which has become very popular, is some type of compensation package. Or a combination of salary plus commission. Salary plus commission. Most of the big companies, the good companies, are in the middle with a compensation package. Because what a lot of people think, when you think about salespeople and a job in sales, they think of this, right? And believe me, this is still out there, right? What does that mean, anybody? You'd say, I get paid on straight commission. What does that mean, anyone? Only thing you get paid. You don't get any base salary. What's a base salary? What does that mean?
Guaranteed.
Right, it's a guarantee. It's what you get paid every week, whether you sell something or you don't. Okay? Right? Now, so, straight commission means if you don't sell it, you don't eat today. Literally, you don't eat. Okay, no money unless you make the sale. Okay? Now, are there advantages of this? Absolutely. Are there a lot of disadvantages of this? No question. All right? So then what does this one mean here? Straight salary. The total opposite end of the spectrum.
No commission.
Right. No commission. Straight salary. Straight salary. What's the advantage of a straight salary job?
Stability. You can be shitty at it.
Right. Okay. Right. Average. Okay. Right. Okay. You can be average. Okay. Right. 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 What's a negative about this stuff? So this is okay, right? What's a negative about this? I'll give you a hint. What if you're good? Right. It's not pay for performance. It's not pay for performance. You can tell immediately what type of program a salesperson is on. Okay? I like to observe the way salespeople approach a customer. All right? When you walk in, how can you tell you walk into this company if the salespeople are on straight commission? How can you tell immediately they're on straight commission? They get up and greet you. It's almost like woof. They're right on top of you. Right? What type of business are they? You walk in and they're right on top of you. What type of business? Right. Car. okay, right? Jewelry stores, correct? Okay, one that's really, which you don't realize, which they're on straight commission, is furniture stores. You walk in and boom, they're right on top of you. As opposed to this, the opposite. How can you tell when someone's on straight salary? Because there are stores that do it both ways. How can you tell when someone's on straight salary, meaning no commission?
They're usually like assigned to like a region and stuff.
Okay.
Like regions of the store.
Very good, right. They're in a different department, right? Are they hard to find to get help?
Yes.
Why?
There's no reason for them to be available.
There's no reason for them to be available because they're being paid straight salary. Okay? So, advantages and disadvantages. Okay? The advantage of this is you know what you're going to get every month, every week, whatever, however you decide to pay it. This is a lot of uncertainty, the other end of the spectrum. Okay? The other end of the spectrum. Now, this is very interesting when you think about this. Okay? Most companies, especially the good companies, this is the best. For most salespeople, this is a very good deal. All right? This is a very good deal because it's a combination. It takes the best of both of these into a compensation package in the middle. Compensation package in the middle. Now, interesting this, when you talk about this, straight salary. So we talk about why is there this negative connotation about people who sell stuff. Why is that? Because everyone at some point in your life has been pushed into buying something that you don't need. Okay? And a big reason for that is this. Salespeople that are on straight commission, if you say no, they make no money for their effort. If you say no, the end of the day, they've got nothing. They've got nothing. So when you're on a straight commission program, all right, it is tempting or easier to stretch the truth. What's stretch the truth? Can this product do this? Yes. Can the company do that? Yes. Can you help me with this? Yes. Remember, yes, 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 to get you to say, yes, I'll take it because I'm on straight commission. And if you say no, I don't get to eat today. So that's a negative. Right? Now, to get away from having salespeople stretch the truth, okay, or mislead the customer, is companies that are more on this side. More on this side. Now, I even know a very specific example of this, right, where the company will pay you a base salary, but a very high base salary. Very high base salary. Because they don't want the impact or the temptation of commission to cloud your judgment when you're talking to a customer. Because whether the customer says yes or no, you still get your straight salary, a significant straight salary. Example would be this, $150,000. Okay? Now, are they going to just start you at $150,000 salary? No. But if you have a proven track record, right? Meaning you have sales experience and you literally have to show them your tax returns, right? Would say, I've made $150,000 last year, whether it's straight commission or salary plus, okay? And then I made $150,000 the year before, and I made $150,000 the year before that. 3 years in a row. Whatever this combination is here, that is what they start you at a straight salary. It's not a bad job. It's not a bad job. And their idea of this is that we don't want the idea of commission, or you can make more commission on this deal, to impact your relationship with the customer. And it's brilliant. Now, what's the incentive of this, right? Well, that's enough incentive to get you out of bed every day. And then at the end of the year, your raise for the next year is based upon how did you do against your quota. So you'll make $150 this year, and if I make the quota, maybe I get a 10% raise on top of that for next year. And then that number just keeps going up, up, up. Now that's very rare to have that high of a base salary. Very rare. Right? But that's just a specific instance where the company, very ethical company, that doesn't want you to be to even think about how much commission am I making on this. Right? Now, on this side, right? What's the advantage of being on straight commission? What's an advantage of being on straight commission? Right? You can make more. All right? This is your pay, what you're worth. And what if you're really good at it? What if you're a really good salesperson and you have a really good product with a really good company behind you? All right? This is the best deal because you can make more money doing this. Right? This is unlimited. Right? And when they say unlimited, they mean unlimited. This is limited. You got it? This, to an extent, is limited, meaning the amount of money you can make. This is an unlimited amount of compensation. Yes, Howard?
Which companies have you worked for that did straight commission?
Right. I've been on each side, okay, mostly here, right? A lot of the projects I work on now are this, right? Or a percentage of the business that is generated, more of a straight commission thing.
Johnson & Johnson.
Okay. Johnson & Johnson was right in the middle. All the big companies that I'll talk about at any time of a class were mostly this. All right, mostly this. All right, now, an advantage of why have I been leaning more this way over here is not just say my experience or ability, it's a big thing with this, okay? When you talk about accountability, right? When I'm paying you that, okay, you got it, over here, right? They want to know this. Where'd you go today? What'd you sell tomorrow? What are you selling tomorrow? You said this order's coming in. A lot more micromanagement because look what they're giving you. Do they have the right to micromanage you? Not necessarily micromanage you, but want to know what the hell you're doing all day when I'm paying this salary. When you're over here, right, there's no question. What'd you do today? Well, you have no right to ask me, what am I doing today? You're paying me. You see the difference? And that's why at this stage of my life, I've clearly moved more towards opportunities like this for that one reason, is that I don't need to answer to say, where'd you go today? Where'd you go tomorrow? What are you selling today? What are you selling tomorrow? Excellent question. Nate, you got a question?
Yeah, so does Johnson & Johnson have like a main industry competitor? Like they have
Absolutely. Within their framework of all of their different businesses in the hospital or medical device industry, they all have big competitors. Right? All have big competitors like Medtronic, all right, and Synthes and DePuy, which they ended up purchasing. All depending on what type of product, there's always, yes, there's clearly another big major competitor like them. Okay, no question, right? So we're the most big.
Johnson & Johnson does everything.
They make so many different things. They own 150 different companies. And when they say a company, the entire company that does just Band-Aids. Band-Aids is just one company. Baby powder, baby shampoo, baby oil, separate companies. Right? Plates that they implant in your head, a separate company. Right? Monitors or artificial hips or artificial knees, separate company. And they run them like separate companies, and all of them have some type of competitor out there. Most of them small companies, but companies just as large as them as well. Again, excellent question. Okay? So this is where a lot of people fit in as not a bad situation. So when I talk about this compensation package, right, and I urge you to think about this all the time, wherever you end up, is this. People get hung up on how much, right? Meaning how much am I going to get paid, right? But you need to dig deeper into what are they actually offering as a compensation package. And even for you that probably will not have anything to ever do with selling, that's what can separate the difference between this is a really good opportunity and this is an okay opportunity. So when you think about this, you'll talk about a base salary. All right, a base salary. Base salary means that is what you get paid every week, every other week, once a month. That is your salary, right? Plus commission, right? Plus commission. So companies everyone has a different method or format or way that they pay their salespeople commission, right? Some pay their salespeople commission from $1. Right? And we use this example. All right? You have a $1 million territory. That doesn't mean you make $1 million. That means within your geographical territory, you add up all the accounts that you have either been given to you, open up, you add up what they purchased from your company in your little geography, that